Good evening. Humans have always believed that death is not final, merely a transition, one that can be traversed back to the land of the living, often on one day a year. This continues to be believed. Join us as we explore more of this mysterious verse and the day of the Vara. This episode of Mysteryverse is brought to you by the Patreons of Galactic Historian. If you want to support us, be sure to sign up and get access to weekly Q&As and more. October 27th, 2557. Early in the morning, high above the bleak remains of Hades II, now a graveyard of a lost civilization, a lone exploration ship orbits. There was much excitement, as this was the first discovery of a pre-jump civilization, one that had existed thousands of years ago, now lost to time. The crew was busy with scanning and examining the data they were receiving from the planet. The ship's captain, Tisiphone Heptine, sent her initial impressions of the planet back to their benefactors in the Rudder system, along with the ship's status reports. A few hours later, the data just stopped. All attempts to contact the ship were met with an eerie silence. The next day, search and rescue teams were dispatched to try and find this lost ship, but nothing was found. No evidence of an accident or hostile action, not even any wreckage or human remains. To this day, no one knows what happened to the ship or its crew. That is, unless you believe those who travel the space lanes of the Hades system. There are those that claim to see this missing ship and her crew, for on the anniversary of her disappearance, she is said to return to the system and haunt the living. Some reports claim that ships traveling through the system would be boarded by the undead crew, who seek to destroy the systems on board to force the poor souls aboard to join them in their torment. Others say that the souls of the missing ship will drive the living insane and force them to vent their own ships. Still, in another story, some unsuspecting salvagers found the wreck, but upon boarding it, the frozen bodies of the long-dead crew returned to life and killed them all. Regardless of the authenticity of these reports, they have made this ship the most famous missing vessel in UEE space today. Her name is the Vara. Not all of these stories were about ghastly supernatural despair. In one common tale, the protagonists disguised themselves as a fellow crew member of the Vara, wearing the green and black suit of the ship's uniform. as a means to ward off the disembodied spirits and save their ship. These stories became part of folklore, and spacers, always a superstitious bunch, would dress up as members of the Vara crew and tell these stories on October 27th, as a way to ward off bad luck. These traditions made their way into the counterculture of Terra, and there they threw the first ever Day of Vara celebration on October 27th, 2593. Many of the attendees dressed as the recently deceased Imperator Ivar Mezer I, who had died only a year earlier. It was said that they dressed up to ward off evil, though the songs celebrating Ivar Mezer's death were sung long into the night. Being the clever and ghoulish fascist he was, Deacon Mezer, Ivar's son, took the footage and spun it as a pro-Mezer rally, and encouraged empire-wide celebrations the next year, as a day to, quote, fondly remember those who have been lost. It was this decree which has led to the celebrations today, all over the UEE. With it being so close to older Earth holidays remembering the departed, the Day of the Vara has adapted some of these traditions into itself as well. Today, in addition to dressing up in costumes, remembering dead loved ones, and swapping scary stories, revelers indulge in food and drink like spirit cakes and iced wines. Some light candles or stay up until the first morning light. Since it is considered bad luck by spacers to miss the holiday, lest they attract the unwanted attention of the spirits of the dead, they often carry hollows of their dead loved ones, adorned in green and black ribbons, a reference to the uniforms of the crew of the Vara. Some carry hollows of dead celebrities and adjust the colors to green and black for lack of a better option. The mystery of the disappearance of the crew of the Vara is still unsolved, and even today, spacers will avoid travel through the Hades system in late October, lest they anger the departed spirits of the missing crew.